Hi! In today's tutorial, we will learn how to export both HD and SD videos in Final Cut Pro 10. Before we begin, I'd like to go over the fundamental differences between HD and SD videos and why we use two different formats to upload content to YouTube and to CTN's channels. First off, let's review the different specifications between HD and SD videos. The difference between HD and SD videos rely on three factors: the format, resolution, and aspect ratio. Here you can see that for HD videos, we will use the format 720p, which has a resolution of 1280 by 720, and an aspect ratio of 16 by 9. You may also use the format 1080p, which has the same aspect ratio, but a resolution of 1920 by 1080. It doesn't really matter which you use, as long as you match your project format with whatever format you've recorded with to maintain the quality of the image. In this tutorial, I recorded my footage in 720p, so that is the number we will reference throughout the rest of the video. For SD videos, we use the NTSC SD format, which has a resolution of 720 by 480 and an aspect ratio of 4 by 3. So now that we understand the basic differences between HD and SD, let's briefly go over why we need two different formats. Simply put, YouTube is a high-def viewing platform, whereas CTN's channels can only accommodate standard definition videos. Since we have two different platforms, we want two different media files to match them. Alright, let's get started. If you are new to Final Cut Pro 10 or to any video editing software, I will go over a few basics to help you get started. It's important to save your project files and raw footage in an organized fashion. Here, you will see that I have saved mine in a master folder called Project Bundles, and within this folder are a series of other folders that hold my Final Cut project libraries and raw footage. Now that we have this basic understanding of how to organize our media, let's get started. First off, open up Final Cut and create a new library. For those new to Final Cut Pro 10, a library is a container that holds media, events, and projects. Once your library is created and you've named it appropriately, let's save it to your CTN-issued hard drive and create a new project. Now that Final Cut is opened and we've created a new library, let's go to File and select New Project. Here, a menu will pop up where we are prompted to give it a name and where we can customize our project format. For HD, let's select 720p. Make sure your resolution changes to 1280 by 720. When you do this, then select OK. Next, let's create a project in SD by going to File, New Project, and by selecting the format NTSC SD. Here you will see that the resolution changes to 720 by 480. Give it a name that coincides with your HD project, and add SD to the end of it so you can easily tell it apart from your other projects. I have labeled mine Saving Tutorial Widescreen for the HD project and Saving Tutorial for the SD project. Do whatever is easier for you. Now don't worry, you will not have to edit two separate projects. Instead, we will edit everything in HD, then we will simply copy and paste the HD project into the SD project. I will go over the reasoning for this more thoroughly when we go over the exporting process. Now, once we have our two projects started, let's import our footage into the HD project by selecting its icon, which can be found at the top left portion of Final Cut, and by selecting File, Import Media. Select your drive, and whichever folder you are storing your raw footage in, you'll see that I've selected Phil's drive, Project Bundles, and the folder Saving Tutorial. Now let's import that footage. Now that we have our footage imported into Final Cut, let's edit together our video. Because this is a tutorial on exporting, I won't go over any of this, and instead we'll pretend that this one clip is my completed project. Once you are done editing, you will copy your whole HD project by selecting Command A on the keyboard to select everything, and then by selecting Command C on the keyboard to copy everything. Now open up your SD format project and type Command V to paste.
Whoa!
You will see that everything has transferred over. Remember to watch your video once to make sure that all of your text is aligned properly and are within the safe margins. Now we are ready to export. To export the SD project for CTN's channels, go to the export icon on the right side and select it. A menu will pop up with several options. Choose the preset CTN Channel 17. Here you can confirm the details of the project and the desired export format. Make sure it reads 720 by 480 and that it will save as an MPEG movie file. Once you are sure everything is accurate, select Next. Here you are prompted to give the file name and where you would like to save it. Make sure you save it onto your CTN hard drive, preferably in a folder labeled Finished or Completed Projects, so that you may find it easily in the future. Once the video is fully exported, let's do the same thing for the HD video. Open up your HD project file and go to the export icon again. This time we will select Master File, which will export your video with the same specifications as your project. In this case, it will have a resolution of 1280 by 720 and will export it as a QuickTime movie file. Now be warned, if you are working on a video that is longer than 5 minutes, I'd recommend changing the video codec from Source Apple ProRes 422 to H.264. This compresses the file to a manageable size, and you can change this under Settings. Select Next and give it a name. To differentiate between this file and the SD file, I would recommend adding "for YouTube" in parentheses at the end of it, so whoever is uploading it to YouTube will know exactly which one to pick. Finally, you may ask, why not work with just one project and export it twice with the CTN preset and the master file options? Well, you are right, we could do it this way, but one major problem arises, and that involves cropping. Because you will most likely shoot in widescreen or HD, you will find that if you export your project directly to SD by using the CTN preset, Final Cut will crop out portions of your image instead of resizing it, like it does when we create two different projects with different resolutions. Let's refer to my exported videos to see what this looks like. Here, you will see that I have 3 videos open. The top left video, which is labeled savingtutorial.mpg, has a resolution of 720 by 480 and is the SD version for CTN's channel. You will see that there are black bars at the top and bottom. This is the result of copying and pasting the HD project into the SD project. Now let's look to the video at the right. This one is labeled savingtutorialforyoutube.mov. It has a resolution of 1280 by 720 and is obviously for YouTube. Now the third video is labeled wrong saving video. It also has a resolution of 720 by 480, but you can see that this video looks slightly different from the video directly above it. This is because it is a result of exporting an HD project or a project with HD clips with the CTN preset. With this method, the left and right portions of the image are cropped out, as you can see when compared to the other SD video directly above it. This happens because Final Cut does not resize the image during the export. To stay true to your raw footage and to avoid this cropping issue, I recommend using this two-project method that we just went over. So thanks for watching. That's all there is to know about exporting videos in HD and SD in Final Cut. Until next time.